I have finally convinced a decent amount of people to watch part 1 of Roots. Now, Roots is actually 8 parts. Each part is like a movie. Think of it as Game of Thrones, but slavery, fun. So we'll see who sticks around and watches all of it with me. What I always want people to understand is that Alex Haley did this insane research corroborating his own family's history, the oral history that he had been told, from finding his ancestor Kunta Kinte, that is based on a real person. I say based on a real person. Roots is historical fiction. It's based on the research he did about his own family, but creative licenses were taken, okay? So it's basically this extremely well-told, well-researched story from when slaves were taken in West Africa all the way until they were free in America. Now, part 1 of Roots has insane guest appearances. Cicely Tyson, O.J. Simpson, Maya Angelou. And not a guest appearance, but the man that actually plays the slaver that is transporting the slaves on his ship is the man from Up. That's random. I don't know how I found that out. I just like to research things. I'm also not going to pretend that Roots isn't a hard watch. I think it's entertaining. It's entertainment. It's really well done. It's not an easy watch. You start with Kunta Kinte in his home village in West Africa. When you watch, you see exactly where. And you see what his life is like, what his relationship to his family was like, why he was taken, how it was taken. Maya Angelou. I'm kidding. She's not to blame. Anyways, it helps you realize how exactly they were trapped and what their thinking was at the time. Obviously, there's a lot of fear and confusion. And the other hard part of it is, which we're all aware of, is they use other people from other African villages to trap other slaves if they wanted. Like, yes, the mission has always been to use us against each other. It helps you realize that there's all these different people from different villages that speak different languages, packed on slave ships, not knowing how to even communicate with each other, being forced to a place they don't know or recognize. We know all of that. But it also reminds you that all these different West African cultures made up what became slave culture, made up African-American Black culture. There's so many things that have trickled down. There's so many words and phrases you hear. This came out in 1977 that will still hit you over the head today. Part 1 ends on the slave ship. Part 2, you start to see how slaves were sold, where Kunta Kinte and Alex Haley's lineage ended up. Ask questions, join me. I'm going to try to talk about each part because I want everybody to watch Roots.